Hello, everyone. Brandon here. I'm currently in a hotel room. I'm in the country of Croatia right now. But, anyways, I saw this post on Reddit and it was kind of funny to me because I feel like I could relate to it. For anybody that, follows the dating advice subreddit, obviously, first off, like, don't take advice from people on Reddit if you're looking for dating advice. In my opinion, if you have to go on Reddit for dating advice, that's not a good sign, honestly. But you know how some people they like to watch, like the Love Island, the Bachelor Pad, whatever those shows are. To me, going on Reddit and reading these dating advice posts, that's my reality TV. So I'm gonna read this person's post. I'm gonna call them OP, and then for original poster, I'm gonna read OP's post, and then I'm going to just share my thoughts and share a personal story that kind of ties in with this. Okay, the title of this post is called "Should I Break Up Over This?" My girlfriend, F 25, female 25, and me, M 29, have been together for a year and a half. And now I am considering breaking up because of an incident 2 days ago. And I wanted to know how would you react to know if I'm overreacting or not. I had a big exam last Monday, so I had been studying all weekend. My girlfriend told me she would come by and say hi. We do not live together. After doing some groceries, she took more than an hour, which seemed odd, so I called. No answer. She later told me it was on silent mode. Half an hour later, at 9:30 p.m., she called to tell me she met an old male friend she had not seen in years, and that they were going out to get dinner. Mind you, regarding one-to-one hangouts with the opposite sex, we both agreed and proposed not to go at night, neither to drink nor to their houses, all of this to avoid making it look like a romantic date. I'm paraphrasing from Spanish, so sorry if it doesn't sound natural. And then it looks like P, I guess, showed like a text conversation. Her, you want me to bring you something to dinner? Me, no thank you, it's not necessary. Her, are you angry at me? Me, yes. Her, why? Me, we had an agreement. Her, what agreement? Me, to avoid meetings at night. She, or her, so I can't go? Me, I will leave it to your judgment. Her, no, tell me, because if we're going to fight over this, I'll cancel with him. Me, it's not my place to tell you what you can and cannot do. Her, okay, I'll call you later. And she went out with him. Afterwards, we had a discussion. She told me she went anyways because she felt angry that I didn't try to understand her because she initially thought I would understand this was an exception. According to her, she did it out of ego, but she still planned on visiting me just later. But I think she could have easily told him, right now I'm going to see my boyfriend, but let's meet up tomorrow or something. I told her everything I had to say to try for her to understand me. At the end, she was crying and told me, no more analogies, please. I get it. I screwed up. Please forgive me. It's not going to happen ever again. Please don't leave me. Give me another chance. What are your thoughts? So, the reason why when I saw this post and when I read it, I found it funny and it kind of hit close to home is because I can relate to this same exact incident. So when I look back at my last relationship, my partner at the time was a bit of a jealous type of person. If she saw me talking to another girl, she would get very jealous. Now, here's the thing. When I was dating my last partner, like, I was only, I only had eyes for my partner. Sometimes, yeah, I would make like just casual, friendly conversations with other people, and it might be a woman, it might be a girl. But I never talked to people with the mindset of like, oh, like, I find you attractive. It was never, are never my intentions, especially if I'm in a relationship with someone. I've never once thought about cheating or anything like that. So my partner at the time, she was the jealous type, and if she saw me talking to other girls, she would, tell me like, oh, like, that kind of makes me uncomfortable. And, so I tried to be very, very respectful of that. There was even one time, me and my partner, we went to a salsa slash barada dancing. Is it bachata or is it barada? It's one of those like Spanish dancing classes. And the way it works is like all the guys and all the girls, like, and you like switch partners. So like I'm dancing with like different girls, but like we're all like, it's like a class, and it's like, for practice. And even after that class, like she was like, oh, like I'm kind of jealous that you were like dancing with other girls. And I was like, well, you're dancing with other guys. And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay. So here's the thing. Around March of 2025, I had a broken leg. I broke the month before. In February of 2025, I broke my leg in a ski accident, and so I was just like at home, not doing anything. And because I broke my leg during the ski trip, me and my partner, we basically had to like go home early, cancel our trip, and she didn't get to do her snowboarding. She did snowboarding, I did skiing. So to make up for it, she went on another trip in Washington. So she went to Washington, and she went with two other people. One of them is a guy, and I'm this guy that they went with. For the sake of the story, let's call this guy Jake. Jake is a very close friend of mine. Jake is a snowboarder, just like my ex-partner, and then they went with one other girl. This person is honestly, she's irrelevant, so I'm not gonna even make up a name for this person. I'm not that close with her. So it's the three of them, my partner, Jake, and the other person. They all go on this trip to Washington. There was one night in particular where, they're going out to dinner, and my partner and Jake went to dinner together. I don't know what happened to the other girl, but it was just my partner and Jake. They went out to dinner. And, I guess me and my partner, we never even had a discussion about like one-on-one hangouts with like the opposite sex. Like, I just feel like we didn't really need it, because like we both assumed like, yeah, like that's not really appropriate. Like if she were to do that, like I would probably not be too happy. And I know for myself, if I did that with someone else, she's going to be pissed at me. But in that specific situation where she was like on a vacation, and like, Jake, he's a very close friend of mine. Like, obviously for me, I'm understanding, like, I know like neither of them see it as like a date, they're just like going out to dinner, and, they're friends. So I didn't really think too much of it. But here's the thing. Because after I found out about this, I had this conversation with my partner because I told her, I said, so, hypothetically, let's say the situation was reversed. What if I went to dinner with one of your friends who was a girl to dinner? How would you feel? My partner, if that were to have happened, my partner would have been furious at me. She would have been so upset. She would accuse me of cheating and being, being unloyal, disloyal, whatever the word is, not loyal. And, she would have been just so upset at me if I were to ever do that. But I guess with her, it's like if she can do that, and I guess I'm supposed to just be okay. So the thing is, it kind of made me realize something when it comes to relationships and dating. Like, it's always important to have conversations about boundaries, what you're comfortable with, what you're not comfortable with. And let's say, with this girl, and I'm going back to the Reddit story with OP, like, this girl went out with some guy friend, right? OP has every right to be upset because it seems like in this situation, he doesn't know who this old friend is, right? And for them to just go out to dinner together, that does kind of feel like a date. And I do think that is very disrespectful, and it is almost borderline cheating. But what if OP did the same thing, where if he went out with the girl, I'm sure the girlfriend would probably be very upset. So, and I'm not trying to make this like only women do this, or only men do this. No, I'm trying to keep it like a balanced conversation. Okay. So my thing is this, like, if you're in a relationship with someone, if you have a partner, like, if you have expectations for your partner to do something, like, you have to have those expectations for yourself, right? It's kind of like, it's like if somebody says like, oh, like, I prefer a partner who is not fat. But if you're fat yourself, then it's like, what's that phrase? Like, beggars can't be choosers. It's kind of like that same thing. Like, you can't expect others to do something if you can't do it yourself. That's basically all I'm trying to say. So here's the thing. Going back to the question for OP, should he break up over this? I think, honestly, he should have, hopefully he can have a very honest conversation with his partner. And honestly, I would say, like, see how the conversation goes. Like, if she's, if she's like apologetic, like, I think you can make a case for saying like, okay, like, maybe we can work through it. But I feel like for stuff like this, it's also possible where, like, this could happen again. So, just try to be aware of it. Because definitely what she did in the situation is a red flag. So it's, it's your judgment to make that decision on, what you want to do ultimately. But yeah, that's basically it for this video. I definitely want to do more videos talking about, like, relationships, just my views on them, reading stuff like dating advice posts on Reddit. Like, I find it super entertaining, honestly. I know it's like the person, like OP, is like struggling, but it's like me, like, reading it, like, I find it kind of entertaining. But yeah, I definitely want to do more, like, just talking about relationship stuff, because I feel like I could talk a lot about it. I think for me, like, when I do these kinds of videos, I just want to make sure I'm doing it in, like, a productive way. Because I feel like for me, if I'm for this kind of content, like dating and relationship content, I feel like it's very, it's almost like depending on like what I say, it's almost like coming off as like incel territory, stuff like that. And I want to make sure I'm not doing that because I just want to make sure I'm like, talking about this in like a mature way. So yeah, that's it for this video. Let me know what you think, and let me know if you enjoy hearing me talk about like relationships and giving, I guess, my perspective on relationships and advice and things like that.